Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols. I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth, and from Reformed and Rebound, I'm going to do a comparison between a Stridon clone that I made and the actual Schuyler Stridon. So let's take a look. First of all, let's look at the covers. Now obviously this is going to be a higher quality of goat skin than you can get from a Schuyler. This is Sokoto goat skin from Saigo Leathers, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's known for its deep grain. So there's some things that Schuyler doesn't do that if you want it done, you have to get it custom. And one of them is these tool lines. I absolutely love the tool lines on the covers of my Bibles. It's kind of just an extra touch that makes it extremely beautiful. Another thing that Schuyler doesn't do is they don't do accent stitching. They're going to match their stitching with the cover. And that's something I think they could do to bring a little bit of change and maybe a little bit of excitement, to where this one has brown accent stitching to match the brown ribbon and the brown liner. When you see a dark green Schuyler Bible, you're going to see a green cover and a brown liner because those go together really nicely. So when you look at a Schuyler, you're going to have a really nice cowhide liner, where in a rebind, you're going to get a custom liner. Also, the Jerusalem cross on the front, that's just kind of par for the course. I kind of like the placement of this a little better, a little bit higher, to where this one's a little bit lower. Also, I like that this one is centered to the tool line and not just to the cover. Because when you get a Schuyler in full yap, for example, like this one, see how when the yap is untrained, the cross looks perfectly centered. But when you go to train the yap like this, that's when it looks off center. You need to center it according to the tool line. Another thing that Schuyler doesn't do, and you can get with a rebind, is they don't round their spines. And there is something beautiful about a rounded spine. And you can see these hubs pretty much match. This was intentional. I intentionally wanted this to look just like a Stridon. The only thing we left off was the name on the Bible because we don't want to be ridiculous here. But otherwise, the spine hubs look the same. Even that little wonky one on the top that I've never quite figured out why that's there, but we decided to go ahead and match it anyhow. And then when you get to the text block, here is the big difference for me. This is Royal Youngblood Netherlands, and there's three major factors in this one that make me prefer. This is the Lockman Stridon block, what they call it the wide margin reference. Number one, the margins are a little bit wider on this, about 1/4 inch than they are on the original Stridon. Number two is the accent colors. Now I love accent color, but you've got to get them right. And it doesn't show off so bad on this page, but see, like you can see here. Because what they have to do is they have to print the red and then they print the black. And if you don't get it perfectly lined up, you're going to end up with it all wonky like that. You have no such issue here. Every page is perfect because it was all printed in one run. The third reason that I absolutely love the Lockman block over the Schuyler is the paper. Now look, this is opaque paper. It is coated 28 GSM French end opaque paper. It is nice, but this doesn't ghost as bad. Also, when you grab 28 GSM paper, it's just a little harder to get a hold of, to where this is just really nice. This is 32 GSM, very opaque, very bright Korean paper. And then one last little thing is that in Philippians, on your Schuyler, this has an error. So I'm going to go there. That says Philippians 4 because there are only 4 chapters in Philippians, but when you get to the Schuyler, it says Philippians 5. So it was a print error that was corrected in the Stridon by the Lockman. Custom work, in my mind, is always going to be better than a factory Bible, but that's not the only reason I decided to do this. Number one, I like the thicker paper. Number two, I like the lack of red accents because they're not lined up well in the Schuyler. Number three, I love the fact that they fixed the Philippians 5 error in this one. And I also, lastly, love the fact that they have a little bit of a wider margin on the Stridon block put out by Lockman. So there you have it. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nichols Worth.